Can you imagine my guest telling me if I'm feverish that we have enough space? Can you beat that? COVID-19. Anyway, welcome aboard International Forum. I am Wilson on Marshall. Well, COVID-19 is around the corner. It's here in Nigeria. We've gotten 2 cases in Edo State, and they are recovering by God's grace. But you have to maintain hygienic practices. Wash your hands, sanitize your hands, clean your environment. If you can fumigate your environment, your homes, your houses, just do that, okay? And of course, maintain social distancing is very, very important. Avoid your mouth, your nose, your eyes with your hands, because your hands are like, an avenue to contract this virus. If you feel comfortable putting on mask, bring masks. Go ahead. Why not? But for what they said is not airborne, all right? And of course, you must use your hand gloves. You have to follow the rules and regulations governing the usage of hand gloves, all right? So that you will not take it along with you to your various place of abode. Having said that, today on International Forum, it's all about what is happening in North Korea. Can you believe that according to reports from what they said that they've not seen any case of coronavirus? Yes, that's a report in North Korea. That's what they're telling the world. We are not suffering from it. And World Health Organization is doubting that report seriously, because according to World Health Organization, it's a pandemic. So how come one country, we see they don't have it? All right, quickly, let's take a look at stories making the round. The PD just prompted me to go into it. Now, this is what is happening in the UK. Yeah, the UK, this health insurance scheme, they choose to come back to work. 20,000 retired staff, 20,000 health personnel that choose to say, okay, well, we've done our bit. But they have to come back because of COVID-19, because they need manpower to curtail the spread of the virus. Thank God for Prince Charles. Yes, he has recovered. But like asking, what caused that swift recovery? But come on, he is healed and healthy right now. He was able to beat the virus. For now, for them to have more ground, for them to really have more manpower, 20,000 that hung their boat just to go back to their chef, put on the health booth, and they are in the field fighting COVID-19 in the UK. What a country. What a country. They're doing really well. Now, let's move straight down to India. This time around, the Prime Minister of India is so sad because they choose to lock down without adequate information and without adequate time given to the populace or citizens in India. Yeah, it wasn't up to 24 hours notice. All right. Well, like, since this COVID-19 is like a pandemic and we have cases in India due to the population, if we don't shut down now, so many things may just go wrong without informing this large turnout of persons that move from one village to the other seeking work, seeking employment that works on a daily basis. They just shut down. No means of translation to go back home. Most of them became refugees in their own country because they couldn't find their way back home. Thousands of persons, thousands of people in the street, no place to go. Some of them even tried to go to their villages, and it led to so much chaos. Some lost their life in this course. And more, they just have to come out to make a passionate appeal to them, asking them for forgiveness. Look, he panicked with the result and the report he's getting. They choose to take that decision, and it went so bad with Indian citizens. It was chaotic. Now look at thousands of persons dragging to enter into how many buses left, because it's a total lockdown, it's a shutdown. No going out, no coming in. These people in the street, what are they going to do? Look at this young man trying to walk to the village. Maybe now, just take, for example, now you are living in Benin, but you went to Igobazua to hustle. You get the drift. Nothing to do, no announcement, no warning, nothing. You just shut down. That's what COVID-19 can really cause, and it's causing so much havoc globally. And now let's move straight down to the US, where New York right now is the worst hit in the US, and Donald Trump
U.S.
has already
President Donald Trump
addressed
said the
citizens of New York, telling them that he's with them. He even provided a vessel, yes, a ship to take care of the sick, in order to create more space for the sick and elderly that are infected with coronavirus. And right now, early this month, he was like saying that before Easter, America will overcome this disease, coronavirus, but haven't seen the devastating effect or the positive nature of the virus, because America right now, they like, you know, the worst hit globally. He now said, look, there's no need to be in a hurry. All right, we have to go beyond the Easter period. We have to go beyond Easter, so we can really put these in control, put these in check. He's taking a look at, let's say, 30th of April or beyond, for them to really come back to normal. But trust Americans are doing their best possible to make sure that this virus is contained, because it's all about containment right now. They're trying to make people recover, trying to make the infected recover, but it's not been easy. Now, if a country like America is finding it difficult to really contain the spread of this virus, God help African nations. Yes, we need divine intervention right now. Serious prayers. So if you can pray, no matter who you are praying to, what you are praying to, please do pray. Yeah, really, really do pray. Okay, we want to go for a break. When we return, it's all about North Korea testing missiles. When the world is complaining about this pandemic, what about the agreement reached between North Korea and Donald Trump? Are they going to jettison the agreement because the world is battling with the pandemic coronavirus? And what is South Korea willing to do without the backing of the US, who is engulfed trying to curtail coronavirus? What about China? And what about Russia, that has 1,800 plus persons infected by the virus? Very minimal compared to other parts of the world. We'll be right back to really throw more light on these 9 missiles being tested, or that have been tested in North Korea this month. Do stay tuned. Now, back to the discussion of today. It's all about North Korea missile tests. Yes, 9 so far this month in the heart of pandemic, and South Korea has been talking. But is the world listening, knowing fully well that they are busy trying to curtail or contain the spread of the coronavirus, aka COVID-19. With me here in the studio to talk about it, I have a legal practitioner. We talk about international politics. It's well grounded. Join me to welcome Barrister Osaho Osazuwa. Barrister, namaste.
It's my pleasure.
All right. And of course, we're very close to the legal practitioner. Is a vibrant youth. We talk about local and international politics. It's well grounded. Join me to welcome Williams, wife of Williams. Namaste. Yeah, I see no handshake anymore, just straight the way the Indians do theirs, and we are true. Okay, Williams, here we are. An agreement was reached between Trump and, of course, Kim Jong-un, talking about the supreme ruler of North Korea, to stop all these tests. Denuclearize. That was the word they were using, the term they were using. And, of course, it's like this young man agreed to it. But all of a sudden, started emerging, and now, according to the information emanating from South Korea, from their calculation, 9 tests has been successfully conducted by North Korea. What in the world is happening?
Well, first of all, good afternoon, viewers. I think they're just cashing in on the opportunity that COVID-19 has opened up. Because come to think of it, all the nations that would have called them to order at this very juncture are very busy with their own problems. So sometimes there's a popular African adage that you sometimes pray for your enemies to have their own problems so that they allow you be. So I believe North Korea is taking advantage of the coronavirus crisis that is rocking the world at the moment. And so for them, it's the perfect time to perfect what they've been working on, to carry out as many tests as they can, because they may not get this window of time again to do anything they can, or whatever they wish to do, without much monitoring, because there is a total lockdown around the world. The IAEA officials that would normally come around to monitor the nuclear weapons are most likely locked down in their own country. America, that would have called them to order, they are locked down in their own country. Even the soldiers are also quarantined somewhere. So I believe this is the perfect time for them to carry out their test and advance quickly. Who knows, they may just attain full nuclear capability by the end of this coronavirus crisis. So I think they are really putting their arsenals together to make sure that they don't miss this time frame which coronavirus has given to them, to perfect all that they've been working on, and to also project this image of strength to the whole world that, look, while you all are bowing to coronavirus and staying in your homes, we are out here testing weapons. We are out here because even in April, they've arranged for a Supreme People's Assembly where most of their top-ranking officials are going to hold a meeting, and then they are going to discuss issues pertaining to North Korea, and they would make sure that they beam those images all around the world, and they are going to be without face masks. So what they are trying to tell the world is that, look, it's not a hoax when we tell you that we don't have any incidents of COVID-19, in our ranks. It's not a hoax that we are a strong nation. Look at us. While you all are in your homes, quarantined somewhere, we are here holding the Supreme People's Assembly. So they are really trying to showcase strength to the world at this very moment.
All right, they're trying to showcase strength to the world at this very moment. You said you were cashing in on the pandemic.
Yes.
Barrister, do you feel the same?
In a sense, but we should all bear in mind that North Korea has never formally agreed to dismantling their nuclear arsenal. No matter the pressure that Trump and the international community has tried to put on them, they have vehemently refused to formally agree that, look, we will denuclearize. Yes, there was a moratorium that for 3 months, for some time, while the talks with the US was still going on, that they will stop their testing. And in fairness to them, they have not done any long-range testing ever since. All the testing they have done ever since that 2017-18, they have been short range. And North Korea is not just trying to acquire a nuclear arsenal. They have it now. It's just the ballistics, the carrying capacity. How do you deliver those your nuclear powers? That's what they have been working on. That's why they are doing this long range, short range stuff. And they keep perfecting it. They keep miniaturizing it, making it smaller, and better to deliver. I think they can eat any place in the world. They have demonstrated that now, that they can eat any point they like in the world. What they want now, what the West wants from them, is, look, you are losing so much by keeping your nuclear arsenal. Your people can barely feed because you have chosen the way of power. You think with that nuclear arsenal you are okay. But life is not all about military. The United States is not what it is today because of its military might. Just look at the West. Look at their neighbors, South Korea. They're having a nice time. The fastest and best internet connections in the world, you find them in South Korea. The cutting edge technology, you find them in South Korea. The people, they average their life, the way they live their quotidian life, their daily life is superb. That's the index you use to measure human happiness and human well-being. It's not the amount of bomb or the size of a bomb you can explode.
Are you sure about that? Are you really sure about that? It's not about the size of the bomb you have. And global friend, I mean,
yes,
we're talking about the trends around the globe. You mean weaponry don't really matter?
It has to be balanced, but at what price are you paying? What price are you paying for your nuclear capabilities? North Korea is paying a very, very huge price to maintain the power it has and enjoys today. I just remember one of my good friends, he used to say that because Kim Jong-un used to wear this, they call it lavu, when he dressed, big shirt, that big shirt.
Yeah.
he used to joke that he said that that it doesn't have style, but that it's nuclear arsenal has style. right, so that's that. But the price they are paying to continue to dominate is very high. The average North Korean is suffering. Basic medical drugs you can't find. Basic life stuff that makes life enjoyable as we know it. Life in North Korea is regimented. It is nothing. The people are just there, and the leader, the supreme leader, all he does is just to shock and awe the rest of us with this nuclear arsenal. The time has come, like Trump tells him, you can have this cascading edifice instead of this where you launch your nuclear bomb. You can have some of the best hotels, some of the best resource centers somewhere in Pyongyang, instead of this bomb that you are strengthening us with every day. Okay. I think in a nutshell, North Korea is paying a very heavy price for the present nuclear power it enjoys. All right. It's just too high.
All right. Now, from what he said North Korea are paying a very heavy price for the present nuclear power that is enjoying right now. But when they were asked by the South, why are they carrying out this drill? He just said it's to keep his soldiers fit. I mean, he doesn't have a point in saying that, because winter is approaching and the soldiers just can't be looking dumb out without carrying out some military drills. And of course, this is also to make them relevant to the scheme of things in the Korean Peninsula. Take it up from there.
Well, this whole thing started in 1962, where North Korea decided to go on what they call self-fortressization, because there's this paranoia that all supreme leaders in North Korea has always had. There's this fear of, the Western power someday dominating them or wiping them from the surface of the earth. So they went about their nuclear program in a very aggressive way. Initially, they met with the Soviet Union, tried to get the Soviet Union to help them with their nuclear program. They were rejected. They met with China to help them with their nuclear weapon. China rejected them, So after some time, China started to assist them. Russia also started assisting them. That was how they became allies, because America wouldn't do that for them. Because like what the North Korea would usually say, if you want total denuclearization, then it's not going to be unilateral. We are not going to do it while you keep yours. If you want me to disarm, you must also disarm. So let us all put our arms down, and then we can discuss. Not asking me to denuclearize while you have yours. Like I keep saying, it's like two people are going for a negotiation, and one person has a gun and he's wielding it, he's fanning himself with his shirt so that you see the gun he's carrying. Even if he has not raised the gun, the other man who is armless will be scared and will definitely capitulate to what the man with a gun is saying. So that's how some of these nations view America. You come to us and you tell us, oh, drop whatever you have. But at the end of the day, what's our assurance that we will be safe when we give up our nuclear armaments? Take, for example, the Iranians, reluctantly trusted the Barack Obama administration, thinking that American leadership is continuous. And then they agreed to the JCPOA, which was not just, harnessed by the Obama administration. China was involved, Japan was involved, the UK was involved, Russia was involved. All the world powers came together to say, this is the best way to slow down Iran from having nuclear weapons. But then the Trump administration came and started upturning everything they met. Everything that had an Obama signature on it, they wanted to do the opposite. So at the end of the day, Pyongyang is very paranoid. Now they are scared that someday if they give up this nuclear armament that they have, who knows, another administration could come and wipe them from the surface of the earth. And imagine how many decades it has taken them to get here. From 1950, they've been, mulling on that idea. 1962, they started working on it. It's been about 7 decades now since they've been working on it. And then you want them to just give it up. So to them, it's their only, it's the only means of self-survival. Having this nuclear weapon, knowing that if you strike them, they will also have something to strike back with, would to some extent put America and the West at bay and try to deter them from, destroying them, because that's what they feel the world is going to do to them. So that's the fear that they have. So whatever Kim is saying as his excuse for carrying out these nuclear tests now is just an excuse to not say he has not said anything. But the crux of the matter is that they are trying to fortress themselves from whatever aggression they feel the West has towards them. Okay. So paranoia is actually the problem we have here.
Paranoia is actually the problem we have here.
Yes.
Okay, now if it's paranoia that is a problem according to Williams Owaifo, and of course we have this pandemic ravaging the world, how come they have the time to start testing missiles? Not one, not two. According to count, is up to 9 missiles this month. Does that mean that what they told the World Health Organization, that North Korea don't have a case of coronavirus, is true? Because if it's there, would they have the might to go start testing weapons?
Yes, you see, whether or not North Korea has a case of coronavirus, no one can say for sure. But common sense will dictate that this is a pandemic. A pandemic has to take a form of a global. Its nature is global. But
they're saying that they don't have any case.
Maybe what that the young man did, maybe it was just to round up everyone with a suspected case of coronavirus and get them shot.
Were you there? Were you there? Okay, maybe. Okay.
Maybe it took very drastic measure that no sane and civilized society will take. You don't put anything past him. Then talk about the nature of what the nuclear arsenal means to North Korea. Everybody knows, Trump knows, the leaders of the world know that North Korea will never ever give up its nuclear arsenal. Okay. I think the talk is just to buy time or to say we are trying to do something about it. It is an existential thing to North Korea that they should have and continue to have this stockpile of so-called weapons of mass destruction, because it is their only safety nest that they have. It is the only thing that guarantees their continuous existence. If they don't have that, they might cease to exist one day. That's the way they think. And if you look at it critically, and that's it. The only example of person who voluntarily gave up his nuclear stockpile, talking about Muammar Gaddafi, we know what happened to him. If Gaddafi still had his nuclear stockpile, nobody would have tried what they did to him. They would have respected the fact that this man can unleash something at any time. So it buys you time. It ensures the continuous existence of your dynasty. If the Kim dynasty is to continue, they understand that it is irrevocably connected to the continuous holding of the nuclear stockpile. If they don't have that, then the guarantee is gone. Anything can happen to them, and nobody might fail will take a gun and shoot it and shoot himself. For them to voluntarily give up their nuclear weapon, it is something beyond imagination. They won't do it, and the world knows they won't do it. All this talk about North Korea denuclearizing is just mere talk. The time will never come when North Korea will denuclearize, except my colleague just said, when every person, every nation that has it will say, okay, we want to give that up. And we know that time will never ever come.
All right, and we know that time will never come. Well, we have a barrister Chima Williams in the building. We want to go for a break to allow him come into the studio. Then we're going to hear his own thoughts and of course his own opinion about what is happening right now in North Korea. We'll be right back. Do stay tuned. Thank you so much for staying tuned here. Fundamental statement, and the person you just saw is a former finance minister, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, that is in South Africa's economic team right now to build South African economy. Well, it's all about COVID-19 and North Korea testing missiles, and from the counts given, it's 9 tests so far. Many persons have been speaking about it, but no show from America, no show from Russia, no show from China. It's like North Korea is on a roller coaster testing these Missiles, interballistic missiles, short-range, long-range missiles. With us right now in the studio is a barrister, Chima Williams, a legal practitioner, both local and international politics. He's backgrounded. Barrister, namaste. Yeah, no more handshake. You just have to do it that way. All right. Now, Barrister, I believe that we're following our discussion. And of course, reasons have been given why North Korea, they are doing what they are doing right now. Now, if you take a look at Russia, they are allies of North Korea. Maybe they're not in tune with what North Korea is saying. And where the outbreak of coronavirus in Russia, just 1,800 plus cases, we have 66 killed and 3 deaths. Do you think they will have enough space to caution North Korea in this regard?
You see, I think North Korea has strategically analyzed the situation and came up with the conclusion that there can be no better time than this. You know, because I mean, we have the adage that there's nobody whose house is burning and you will be busy chasing rats. Okay? Now, Russia, America, even if it is one death, you know, where people value lives, a single death can cause a nation to go into mourning, okay, because of the value placed on the sanctity of life. Now, this is a situation where there is a global lockdown. It is not just the poor countries, it's not the rich countries. Global lockdown, because everybody is now restricting himself or herself to his or her own colony, her own, you know, empire. America says don't come, Nigeria says don't come, you know, everybody says don't come, stay where you are. So, will it be conscionable for Russians to see their leaders, instead of thinking of how to solve the epidemic situation in the country, going to be talking about another country who seems not to be bothered about coronavirus?
Because they say they don't have it in their country.
So, which could be yes or no. They alone know whether they have it or they don't have it. But if they've presented that they don't have it and they're focusing their attention on other things, do you think that any reasonable government will want to allow such distraction? Because that is what I would call it right now, you know, to come into being, instead of facing their own internal problems, how to solve it, you know, thinking about measles or no measles. And don't forget that the so-called big countries, they all have their own, you know, warheads. So if North Korea is testing her own right now, of course, they didn't start today anyway. The first test was in 1984. Okay, after building from 1960 something, coming up, but the first major measles test from North Korea was in 1984, and they've been testing, you know, just to fortify themselves.
But right now, one test too, almost like one test too many, 9 within this short period of time when the world is undergoing a severe shaking due to the pandemic caused by coronavirus.
Yeah, I think that is where strategy comes in. Okay, when you can do wrong and nobody will, you know, conk your head. Okay, because every other person has something else occupying their time. Okay, so if North Korea had conducted this test, let's say in 2018, that's the number that they have conducted between, you know, November 2019 and today. If they had done that, probably in 2018, when the world, you know, was relatively okay with each other, do you think that the reception would have been the same? Definitely it wouldn't have been. Okay, so now for them, if we don't have this problem or we've been able to handle our own situation, let's think of other things that ordinarily on a good day they won't allow us to do. But at the end of the day, After testing the nuclear warheads and discovering that you have perfected them, where are you going to use it in a situation that the world is in today?
Right. You can take a look at the meeting right now. It's like none of them is like bored up with putting on masks or wearing masks to prevent themselves from being infected by the coronavirus. This may just point to what they've told the world, that they don't have a case of coronavirus in North Korea. Now, he talked about strategy. He also talked about when the world come to a normal, where are they going to use these weapons. Now, when the world was in a good shape, that is pre-COVID-19, there were sanctions upon sanctions mounted on North Korea for them to stop all this type of tests. Do you see it coming when the world recovers?
Yes, thank you very much. They can only appeal to North Korea to stop and desist from this test. And the Koreans, for all their talk, will not listen to them. Because the worst that can be done has been inflicted on North Korea. The sanctions are still there. When the young man told Trump that if you want to do something about this, our nuclear stuff, you have to lift sanctions. And when you lift sanctions, we start talking. We know you are serious, and then you also know that we are serious. But that was a no-go area for Trump. And there's no incentive for them to stop this testing. They keep getting better. They keep doing it in a more sophisticated manner. Their delivery systems keep getting better. And like I said before, it is their ticket to survival. If you want to go and watch the movie Survivor, you have to have a ticket. And they intend to survive, and to survive for as long as possible. And their ticket to survive is their nuclear stockpile. They have the ultimate weapon, which is nuclear weapon. And when you have that, you get respected instantly. Your friends and foes, they have to respect you. And the young man in Pyongyang knows that, and is getting respected. He's getting all the attention. We are gathered here today talking about him because he has earned it. And the way he has earned it is not because he was able to build a very good economy for his people, or to give the kind of leadership that we have not seen before. He just gave them the ultimate weapon that makes your head need to not to raise his voice too much when talking to you. When Trump talks, you see, last time, some few weeks ago, Trump sent him a beautiful letter. He's always sending the young man beautiful letters. You don't raise your voice at Kim. You don't say stuff that will just make him angry. You have to respect him. and that's true. So he has earned that right. So, and he's enjoying the spotlight. And if he gives away the nuclear weapon, nobody will look his way again. He won't be in the spotlight again. Someone else will take the spotlight. And the young man wants to continue to be in the spotlight. And the only thing that will guarantee him remain in the spotlight is if he continues to hold on to this nuclear. This thing was gotten by friends since they have been working on this since 1950s, over half a century. I just want to come and sweet talking and give me a vision of good hotels and good luxurious places, so that we just give his nuclear stockpile and it become nobody. Maybe North Korea gives away their nuclear weapons, they become nobody. So it will never happen.
It should never happen.
So what has to be done is just to. It is there. It even has a moral issue attached to it. You cannot have the ultimate weapon. Keep it for yourself, and then you lack that moral ground to tell the next person to give up his own. Right. Why will the person give up? Have you given up your own? Or you think you are more justified in having and keeping your own? You are the good guy. The other guy is the bad guy. That's what you are telling him. That you are more rational. That you know what to do with your nuclear stockpile, and that is crazy. He cannot handle it. So you should go and get it somewhere and get it burnt and get it destroyed. No. There's hypocrisy attached to the whole thing. Right. That you think you can hold on to your own and tell the next person that is not responsible enough to hold it, to have nuclear stockpile. I think that once you have it, you get respected. Okay. And I tell you, that's why they are fighting tooth and nail to prevent Iran from acquiring same. Right. The moment Iran has it, all this talk, all this bullying will stop. automatically if you stop.
Okay, well, that will be talk for other times to see if Iran is being bullied by other nations. Now, he talked about the submission or what the term denuclearization of North Korea will not happen. What about the agreement signed with Donald Trump?
You see, agreements are always respected when you know that such agreements were signed in good faith. 2, such agreements have contents that are protective of you. 3, such agreements have, some conditions that are beneficial to you. Once these 3 are lacking, such agreements can easily be repudiated. And from the analysis, the discussion on global nuclear disarmament did not start today. It's been on for as long as I can remember. I've been hearing it. And today I'm discussing it. Okay? So how come that it's never achieved? It has never been achieved. Okay? Even with the dismantling of the Soviet Union, have we been able to dismantle nuclear warheads? Development? No, the answer is no. Because, as my brother pointed out, you cannot hold a gun and tell me to pocket my own. Then we are no longer equals. And if we come to the table as equals, then respect will be there. So, the issue of North Korea respecting the agreement that they entered into with, United States is dependent on their belief that if they respect that agreement, they are going to be safe. And once they know that they will not be safe, America has tried to discuss with South Korea, to do some humanitarian services and the rest of them. But the issue is that are North Koreans complaining that they are lacking? This question, we gloss over it. We may call North Korea all manner of names, everything that is negative, okay, dictatorial, whatever. But the point is, who is saying that? Is there any government in the world of today that is not dictatorial? There is none. Absolutely. Even when we claim that we are having democracy, somebody muzzles it over another person. The type of democracy that the world practices today, where the will of the majority is not always respected, but the will of the persons that has the power. Is that not dictatorial? Okay? So, for me, the concept of what is good, what is acceptable, what makes majority of the people happy, for me, is good leadership.
Okay. Good leadership.
Therefore, whether, the supreme leader of North Korea, will back down to obey America, and listen to them and flow along. But don't forget, Wilson, I think we discussed that the process of that agreement in the first place here, when we found some flaws, even in the processes that led to that agreement itself between the United States and North Korea. Okay? So, which means from the beginning, the two sides knew that one side can always go against that agreement.
All right, now let's take a look at South Korea, because they're the one raising the alarm, saying, look, world, what North Korea is doing. Now, do you see them carrying out a military drill to really counteract the testing capability of North Korea? Don't forget out there, way back before the pandemic of coronavirus, whenever North Korea choose to test their missile, South Korea immediately will start a military drill. Do you see it happening right now?
Yeah, thank you again. South Korea has made a choice, and they made that choice over 70 years ago. They chose the path of prosperity, the path of wealth over power. And then today there is nothing they can do to change that dynamics vis-a-vis North Korea. There is no drill that they can summon, nothing they can do to show strength. That thing must significantly pale into insignificance when compared to what Pyongyang can muster. Pyongyang is a military power in the most absolute sense of the word, power. Pyongyang is head and shoulder above South Korea. South Korea can do nothing except the US say do it. If the US is not in the drill is just a Boy Scout movement.
It's just a Boy Scout movement.
Compared to being Pyongyang. And they know that. They can only raise their voice, they can only shout, they can only just to call attention. Because South Korea and Japan will bear the brunt of North Korea. If that young man Kim Jong-un decides to go mad, if he goes mad, before they feel it in Washington, somewhere in Tokyo and somewhere in Seoul, they will feel it there first. So I think that choice has been made a long time ago, and they can do nothing about it. You see, the Italian writer and statesman Niccolo Machiavelli was not just playing on words, or what they call porn in literature. When he said, and I quote, that a necessary war is a just war, and when there is salvation only in arms, those arms are holy. When there is salvation only in arms, those arms becomes holy. What he was saying was that when a war becomes necessary, by implication, that war also becomes just. And when you have salvation, like in the case of North Korea, when you have your continuous existence depends on your arms, those arms become righteous, they become holy. And it is key to the continuous existence of not just the Kim dynasty, but to the existence of North Korea in itself, that they hold on to these arms. It is the path that they also chose, the path of power over prosperity. The path of military minds over. You keep saying
power over prosperity. Yes, power brings prosperity. Don't think that this is just the first phase of North Korea to get that power first before prosperity in other spheres of life. And the way you define prosperity might not be the same way that you define prosperity.
You cannot eat your cake and have it. They know that. That's why the life they live now, they have come to. If it's not the best of all possible life, but it's the one they chose a long time ago, the one that leaders and the Kim dynasty chose for them. Let us be feared than be loved. Okay. Just like Nicolo also said again, that it's better to be feared than be loved. And we are all in awe of that young man today because of what he possesses. He might not be living big like the average South Korean with all their high-speed internet connection, with the Samsung and with the luxury that is attached to them. Imagine Japan too, they chose that part. But this North Korean people, they show power. They show ballistics over bread, so to speak. So that's that.
All right.
So we must understand the dynamics that is happening today. That North Korea is a military superpower. Whatever drills, military drills that South Korea does, like I said before, it just Boy Scouts jumping up and down.
Now, do you see South Korea having their own nuclear armament, warhead, since they've been able to establish the fact that, according to the world, that they have this and they have the capability of launching it, of taking it to any part of the world, at least to balance the power pyramid in that particular region? Do you see the South also enriching their nuclear capability?
Yeah, you see, when my brother talks about power over prosperity, I mean, for me, it's paradoxical. Okay, because why do you acquire power? And then prosperity is dependent on what you analyze that interests you to be, what you desire. Okay, because prosperity is just about attaining your own desires. So, but let's look at the capacity and the capability of South Korea to develop. Now, if you talk about some of the most technical, technological creations, most of them are from South Korea, or some of them. Okay, and if they can advance their technological ethos to the extent that the world recognizes their ability in technological advancement, who says that they cannot if they want? I should think that it is a matter of choice. Everybody don't have to be, on the same stream. Okay, and once you begin to do something because your brother or your sister is doing it, not because that is what you love or want to do, then you begin to misfire. And that is why nations don't grow, because you want to emulate another country, but you do not understand the historical background and the origin of the choice they made. Okay, so for me, it is not about whether South Korea can advance, okay, but it is about whether South Korea will want to throw away their own traditional beliefs in peace and advancement in the direction that they have taken, to now go the other way. And don't forget, for every choice you make, there is a consequence that goes with it. So if they decide to now match North Korea, the consequences are that the peace that they have been looking for, that made them to cling to United States, to ensure that, with the support from United States, there can be peace within their region, will elude them. And I don't think that that is what they want.
All right. Well, our time is up. Our time is up, because the next question would have been, if they have the capability, would North Korea allow them enrich their nuclear warhead? Is it going to be total chaos in the Korean Peninsula if the North and the South choose to have their own nuclear weapon? What would be of the peninsula? Well, right now they tested 9. Yeah, they tested its 9 missiles, long-range, short-range, interballistic missiles. In the world, we don't have the case of COVID-19, though the World Health Organization is doubting it seriously. But with the actions right now emanating from North Korea, it may just be true. Gentlemen, I appreciate your wonderful analysis. Hope when I call on you next time to throw more analysis on global issues, you will oblige. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. Well,
Thank you, Wilson.
We'll do it again next week, Tuesday, God willing. Bye for now.